Good afternoon. Welcome to Akwaaba Yoga. Back on a mat, and it feels good. Need to move the body a little bit today. My name's Mark, and good to be practicing with you for the next 30 minutes. So yeah, mixing up a little bit. Going to be throwing in some 20-minute sessions and some 30-minute sessions over the next few weeks, and some amazing guest speakers as well. Yeah, welcome to Queen P. Lovely to see you again, Steph. Hope you've been keeping well, yourself and the family. D-Man, congratulations on an amazing run yesterday. PB, potentially in the wind. Anyway, let's get cracking. Let's jump to the mat. We're going to start standing, I think. So 30 minutes to connect with our breath, to move the body. So let's start on our mats. Let's take our feet just beyond hip distance apart, with the feet pointing out to the sides. Just slightly stand out. We are going to start by coming to our breath. So I invite you to close your eyes. Maybe roll the shoulders back, swing the body from left to right. Just find some movement to help us get rid of all the fidgeting. And slowly just bring the body to stillness. If you're swaying, just like to slow down, turn the body facing forwards. And come to a standstill. Really feel the mat beneath your feet. Feel grounded. Maybe play with the toes, just massaging out the floor with the toes. Feel the ground beneath the heel, beneath the sole of the feet. Just roll back the shoulders so you bring your chest slightly forward. Stay nice and tall in the spine. Take our elbows and tuck them into our ribs and face the palms up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. And on the exhale, we're going to bend into the knees, turn the palms over, just start to drop down towards the ground on the exhale. On the inhale, let's drop energy from the ground. Turn the palms up facing forwards and reverse it. Face the palms down, exhale to come down. Just bend into the knees. Inhale to draw up. Exhale to release and soften. Bend into the knees. Inhale to come up. Exhale, flip the palms over. Bend into the knees. If you've got any more room to bend. Inhale, draw up the energy. Exhale to release. And again, inhale, draw up. Last bend. Exhale to release. Just hold it there for count of 5, count of 4, count of 3, 2, 1. Before eyes are closed, I invite you to open up your eyes. Just keep your knees bent. Just place your hands on your thighs. It's going to lengthen out through each leg and just start to twist the body to the left and the right. So you're sticking your bum out to the back and to the side. Just gently coming into the legs, into the hamstrings. And then see if we can open up the legs a little bit further. So we're going for a wide-legged forward fold here. So shuffle the feet out. You can either pigeon toe the feet in towards center or keep your toes pointing out. So you can go nice and long in the legs. Maybe you're just beyond hip distance. Just keep going as far as you can. Let's place our hands on our hips. On the inner, taking a deep breath. Maybe shine our chest up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, we're bending from the hips. We're sticking the bum back. We're just bending from the hips to come down with a straight back. And then just coming to the point we can start to feel the stretch coming into your hamstrings. If you've got a block or a book or any object that allows you just to hold the body up, I'd like to do so. If your hands are touching the ground, then feel free to come to that. We're just holding it here. So it's a bit of an isometric stretch here, just holding into the stretch and just allowing the muscles start to relax and create a bit more openness. Another 3, another 2, another 1. If your hands are on the floor or on a block, see if you can start to engage the core, start to draw the body back up. to a halfway lift. And on the next inhale, coming all the way up. From here, if we can, we're going to turn and face the front of the mat, or feel free to shuffle, stand at the front of the mat and slowly come down into your low lunge. So if you're able to turn and swivel, all good. If not, just take your time. Find yourself coming down onto the left knee. You cut the left toes, keeping a bend in that right knee. Anjanasana, our low lunge. Just take our palms and place them on the right thigh. Going nice and tall to the torso. On the inner, sit up nice and tall. And on the exhale, we're slowly coming into the left hip flexor. Not coming too deep, because we've literally just started our movement. One more breath. Deep inhale in and exhale. On the next breath, let's place the hands at the front of the mat. We're going to see if we can curl the toes under. Curl the left toes under. Lift up off that left knee. Jump that left foot forward to meet the right. We're meeting the front of the mat in our forward fold. So nice and heavy through the body. Gonna sway the body from left to right. Maybe keep a slight bend in the knees. When I come into a twist onto the left side. So we're only taking the right hand and placing it either on the outside of the left thigh, the left calf, or maybe grabbing the underside of the left foot, either variation. On the inhale, raise up that left hand towards the ceiling and twisting the body over towards the left side of the room. So coming into a twist. You would take the gaze out towards the left hand. Maybe let the head hang loose. Nice and long in that left leg. Maybe take a bend in that right knee to help you come a bit deeper into a twist. We're here for another 3. Another 2. Another 1. Start to release that left arm back down. Release the grip where we're holding. Just come back into our forward fold. Just come to a halfway lift, hands on the shins. Lengthen out through the arms. Long in the neck and the back. Exhale, soften to release. And again, halfway lift. Exhale, release. On the next breath, let's roll up one vertebra at a time until we reach the top. Roll the shoulders back. Palms facing forwards and out to Tadasana. We're going to get ready for some half sun salutations. On the inhale, let's float the arms up towards the ceiling. Taking the gaze up towards the hands. Hands meeting in prayer. On the exhale, taking the hands through the chest. Exhale to bend. Bending from the hips. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Just let the body flop forwards. On the inhale, swoop the arms up. Bend into the knees. Shoot the arms up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, hands into prayer. Bring the prayer to the center of the chest. Let's go again. Inhale, prayer goes high. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend from the hips to come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Fold forward. Inhale, let's take the arms up towards the ceiling. Really breathe beyond the fingers. Try to touch the ceiling. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of the chest. And again, inhale, prayer goes high. Exhale, come into the bend, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. Smooth with intention, move our breath. Inhale, take the arms up high. Exhale, hands into prayer, center of our chest. And again, inhale up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, shooting the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of our chest. 2 more of these at your own time, at your own pace. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Rolling the shoulders back. Exhale, soften to release. Bend into the knees, take the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of the chest. Feel nicely grounded and rooted for the feet. Last one coming up. Inhale for the hands to go high. Exhale, bending from the hips to come all the way down. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Final one coming up. Inhale, take the arms out towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of our chest. Nice one. Let's go up with the prayer. Back towards the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift once again. This time we're bending into knees. Bend, 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 bend. As much as we can, as much as we need, until we can get our hands at the front of the mat. Let's step the left foot back. And then jump the right foot to meet the left at the back of the mat. We're coming into our Kumbhakasana, our high plank. We're going to have a play with our high plank here. So it's rocking forwards and back on the toes. We're here for 10 breaths. Please do feel free to drop onto the knees. That's another variation. We're just rocking forwards and back. Just playing with the engagement of the core for another 8. And another 7. Let's say 11 there. Make a few enemies. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the next inhale, let's all rock forwards into our toes. Let's all meet with our knees down. And curl the toes, bend into the elbows, come all the way down to the mat of the chest, keeping the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to tuck the elbows in as we press up into a cobra. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, we're lifting up the hips, bringing our bum back towards our heels to meet in Balasana, child's pose. Now, this is often called a resting pose. For some of us, it's not a resting pose. It might be tight in the hips, so feel free just to lift up the hips a little bit if it's causing any discomfort. The aim isn't to see success as the bum hitting the heels. Let's come into a comfortable variation of Balasana for another 2. Another 1. On the next breath, let's all meet in our tabletop. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Together, to curl the toes under and lift up the bum, taking the tailbone high. Coming to our first downward facing dog. Keep a bend in the knees. They don't need to be straight. There's a lot of musts and needs that perhaps social media seems to insinuate we have to do in yoga. You don't have to do anything. Really use yoga's opportunity to really connect with your breath, to prepare the body for stillness at the end. Let's keep walking the toes up and down as we exercise out the calves. While coming into stillness, let's press our hands into the mats, into the floor, lifting our tailbone high, and energetically drawing the heels down. One more inhale in. And exhale, release. On the next breath, we're going to lift that left leg up, press it towards the back wall. The left leg is parallel with the floor. Or feel free to lift it up towards the back diagonal. On the next breath, let's bring it knee to nose. And let's take it back. Give a parallel or up towards the back diagonal. One more, knee to nose. And then step the left foot forward. Again, any which way we get there, gracefully or ungracefully. No judgment. Let's drop onto that right knee this time. We're going to get ready for a low lunge on the left side. So we're going to curl the right toes. Once we've got nice and grounded, peel the chest away from the left thigh. Maybe place the hands on that left thigh and start to come into a stretch into our right hip flexor. So we're keeping the torso nice and high, engaging into the core. On each exhale, we're softening, bringing the hips a bit closer towards the floor. You can keep the hands on the thigh. or shoot the arms up either side of the ears. Here for another 2, another 1. On the next breath, let's bring our hands down back towards the front of the mat. Again, I'm going to curl the right toes under, lift up the knee off the floor, and either shuffle the right foot forward or spring it forward and bring the right to meet the left at the front. Let's all meet in our forward fold at the front of the mat. So just sway the body again from left to right. Gently sway the body. This time we're coming into a twist, facing the chest towards the right side of the room. So again, we're taking the left hand this time and placing it either onto the outside of our right thigh, our right shin, or the underside of the right sole. We're here for 5 breaths, so whichever variation you're taking, feel free to come into at your own pace, your own time, lifting that right arm up towards the ceiling. As always, say, listen to your body. I've got a bit of tightness in my right shoulder, so I'm taking a variation by placing my right hand on my sacrum, my lower back. Here another 2 breaths, another 1, and on the exhale, release. Release the arms down, meet it again in our forward fold. Let's come to halfway lift, hands on the shins, lengthen out through the arms, long in the back, long in the neck. Exhale, release. On the inhale, bend into the knees and swooping the arms up towards the ceiling once more. And on the exhale, hands into prayer at the center of the chest. Half suns again. Inhale to take the prayer up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend into the hips to come all the way down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften to release. We're going to come into chair pose from here. So on the next breath, let's bend into the knees, start to drop the bum down towards the mat. As we do, let's seesaw the arms up towards the front diagonal. We're going for the anterior tilt of the pelvis. So try and avoid sticking the bum out. See if we can just draw the hips forward, engage the core. Let's see if we can sit any lower. I'll count to 3. Count of 2. If you come out of it, it's all good. Just find a pose. It might be forward fold, Uttanasana. We're trying to come back in for 1 more breath. On the exhale, let's dive it forward. Let's all meet in our forward fold. Inhale to come into a halfway lift, hands on the shins, lengthen out through the arms. Exhale, soften to release. And the next inhale was shooting the arms up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in all the way to the belly. Exhale, hands into prayer at the center of our chest. Now we're going to come into a balancing pose. Let's bring the arms down. Let's all stand in Tadasana at the front of our mats, palms facing forwards. Let's see if we can bring a balance into our right foot. Let's bring the weight into the right sole of the foot. On the inhale, lifting that left leg up, embrace any wobbles. We're going to come into warrior 3 from here. So we're going to shoot that left leg back, seesaw the torso forwards. Take your arms into a place which helps with the balance, maybe into superhero arms, or bringing the prayer into chest, into the center of the chest. You might be bending into that right knee, which is all good. See if you can just lengthen out through that right leg, engage that right core, and press the left toe towards the back of the room. Just take your variation of the pose for another 2, another 1. Let's come back to standing at the front of our mats in our Tadasana, the palms facing forwards. And let's get ready for the opposite side. So taking the weight this time into our left foot. When we're ready, we're going to lift that right leg up, taking a bend into that right knee. Again, embracing any shakes or wobbles. Gonna treat that left leg like it's the trunk of a tree. So engaging is that left quad into that left quad before we start to shoot that right leg back. Come into warrior three on the right side. You can just take your arms into a place where it helps with your balance. If you fall out, it's all good. Let's just see if we can come back in for another 2 breaths. Another 1 breath. Wherever you are. Let's meet once again at the front of our mats. In Uttanasana, the palms are facing forwards. On the inhale, sweeping the arms up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend into the knees. Let's bring the hands down once again to the front of the mat. Just stepping back with the left foot. And jumping that right foot back to meet the left. Kumbhakasana, high plank. Walking forwards and back on the toes to engage with the core. On the next walk forwards, feel free to drop down to the knees or bend into the elbows for a low plank, either variation. Let's press up into a cobra or upward facing dog, tucking the elbows in towards the ribs. Maybe lifting the knees off the mat, bring the chest forward. And on the exhale, this time we're pressing our hands into the floor and coming straight into that downward facing dog. If you want to come into child's pose first or tabletop, I invite you to do so. We're going to come into half pigeon. On the next inhale, lifting that right leg up so it's parallel with the floor. And on the exhale, drawing that right knee through, taking the right knee to the back of the right wrist, dropping down onto that right shin. And with the left toes, we're just walking the left foot back. So coming up onto the toes and walking that left leg back. Just until the point where we can start to feel tension, not pain. So we can start to feel ourselves coming into our left hip flexor and also the piriformis on the right side, our right glutes. So we're energetically drawing our right butt cheek down towards the mat. But if you're like me, it doesn't reach or it's not touching, again, no judgment. We can stay up high on the hands, or feel free to walk the body forwards and just create a pillow at the front of the mat and place your head down. I'm going to stay upright. See if you can just seek to ensure your right knee is sticking out beyond the right wrist. You want to avoid coming into any sort of knee pain. If you find you're coming to knee pain, just start to ease out of the pose by walking that left leg a bit further forward. We're here for another 30 seconds. Let's just embrace a bit of stillness and silence for the next few breaths. Two more breaths here. There we are. If we're lying down, let's bring our torso back up. Start to just come up onto the left tiptoes and just walk the left leg forwards. Whichever way you can, let's all meet back in our tabletop. So the hands are stacked underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, curl the toes under. We're going to press our hands into the floor and come up for our downward facing dog. Let's take a deep inhale in together and exhale to release. Half pigeon on the left side. Again, on the inhale, let's lift that left leg so it's parallel with the floor, or perhaps up towards the back diagonal. And on the exhale, we're drawing the knee all the way through the body. Taking the left knee to the back of the left wrist. Just drop down onto that left shin. We're high on the right toes. We're just walking the right leg back towards the back on the mat. So we feel obviously if we've got no more space. So here again, we're coming into that right hip flexor. So here you stay sitting up nice and tall. Or again, you come into the left, the performance on the left side. Finding a nice stretch into that left glute. As you can probably see, my left glute isn't anywhere near the floor. Again, listen to your body and just be content and appreciate where your body is today. Okay, feel free to stay upright, or you can walk the hands forward and create a pillow. And just bring the forehead down towards the hands, to the arms. Just embrace stillness and silence for another 30 seconds or so. Quite often embracing stillness is the most challenging part of yoga, which is quite often I find Shavasana a challenge, not moving, having to get comfortable with any thoughts that come up. See if you can stay for a few more breaths. Just another 10 breaths here. Take deep inhales and deep exhales. Really feel the breath flowing through the body. Another 5 breaths here. Start to find movement by all pressing up and meeting, by dropping onto our left butt cheek. And we're going to swing that right leg forward as we prepare for a seated forward fold. So our legs are out in front of the body. Curling the toes in towards the face, we're sitting nice and tall, rolling the shoulders back on it. Inhale, float the arms up. On it, so just bend from the hips, just to the point where we're not getting any more flexion. And then feel free to place the hands either side of the thighs. Maybe your feet are there to be grabbed, or maybe just the outside of the shins. And just use that just to usher the body a bit further forward. So bring the chest towards the shins rather than dropping the neck down. So wherever the hands are, to add a bit of resistance, this just helps us lengthen that through the lower back. It's really good if you've got any lower back pain, just lengthen that through the back by doing stretches like this. Seated forward fold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come upright. Let's place our arms out wide, the hands, the palms facing up towards the ceiling. Slowly start to bring our backs towards the mat as we engage through the core, as we're coming down. Another 3, another 2, another 1. Let's see if we can hold it for 5 breaths. Maybe lift the feet up off the mat. So we're meeting a low boat for another 4. Maybe swim out the feet for another 3, another 2, and relax. Let's bring the back of the skull down towards the mat. The palms are facing forwards, the feet are flopping out to the side. Just massage out through the back of the skull. I invite you to close your eyes here. When you're ready, and as we did before, let's just come into stillness and relax as we come to Shavasana, just for a few breaths. So let's all take one deep inhale in together. all the way to the belly, and sigh it out through the mouth. Let's come back into our natural breath and relax. I invite you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you might need or want today. Otherwise, again, let's find a stretch into our lower back by just drawing the knees in towards the chest. If we just give them a general hug in, maybe place the hands underneath the hamstrings as an alternative. So lengthen out through the lower back. And then let's all rock up and come into a seated position. Or maybe come onto our shins. Let's turn and face the camera, placing the hands somewhere comfortable. It's nice and tall. Take a deep inhale in and release. All done. Early lunch, 30 minutes done and dusted. Thank you for tuning in and showing up for yourselves and breathing for one another from afar. I hope you found that all good, a bit different today. Try to incorporate all body flow, stroke movement. But yeah, I'll be playing around with timings over the next few weeks, like I said, and yeah, look forward to introducing you to some amazing teachers. Once again, thanks again for tuning in. I hope you all have an amazing Sunday. Is that a new sofa, D-Man says? Potentially. It is, yes. But yeah, thanks again, and look, have a great week, and I'll see you on the socials. Take care, God bless. See you next week in a bit. Cheers, D-Man. Take care, guys.